Pot, Chinese Pot. That's the way to learn Chinese. Chinese Pot, Chinese Pot.
Hello and welcome to Chinese Pod, bringing you lessons in spoken Mandarin from Shanghai, China. My name is Ken Carroll, and your name is?
Jenny, nice
Hello,
to be back.
Jenny. Yes, which level are we looking at today?
Our first newbie level.
A newbie. So that's a very basic level, and today's lesson, I can safely say, is very, very lexical. Very high frequency and useful, I hope. Now, it's so basic. Maybe we'll just give a little bit of context. Where do you think you might hear this kind of discussion, this kind of dialogue?
Definitely in markets.
In a marketplace, yeah.
Or in a restaurant.
Possibly in a restaurant in some circumstances. Okay, so we could look at that in a second. So you've got a little bit of background. So let's listen now. And this is the real stuff right here. So let's have a listen 3 times.
这个要吗？
不要，谢谢。
很便宜。
真的不要。
Second time. 这个要吗？
不要，谢谢。
很便宜。
真的不要。
Third time. 这个要吗？
不要，谢谢。
很便宜。
真的不要。
Now, let's translate it. If you would be so kind, please, Jenny.
这个要吗？
Do you want this?
这个要吗？
Do you want this?
这个要吗？不要，谢谢。
No, thank you.
不要，谢谢。
No, thanks.
不要，谢谢。很便宜。
It's really cheap.
很便宜。
It's a very good price.
很便宜。真的不要。
No, I really don't want it.
真的不要。
I really don't want it.
真的不要。
We often have people tell us things like,
I gave learning Mandarin a shot, but then I realized I really don't have enough time to commit to it.
folks who felt this way love Chinese Pod Recap. In as little as 90 seconds a day, you can refresh what you've learned so far while adding a bit of what's new to your daily learning. An innovative language learning tool to fit the busy, fast-paced lifestyle of today's professional.
Now, there you go.
Was it useful or not?
I could actually foresee even 2 native speakers saying these things. And I think that's what I like about this dialogue. It's very natural. It really is the type of stuff you're likely to hear. Now, let's get back to the beginning and the first sentence, please.
这个要吗?
Now, literally translated, this is 这个, meaning this item usually. Now, normally, obviously, there will be, in context, there will be an item. You might be pointing at something or holding something, or you might be looking at something in a store. So, 这个, meaning this thing, right? 要吗? Now, the verb 要 means to want. And at the end, we have a particle to form the question. Now, look how sparse and how lean and how efficient Chinese can be, It's just basically got,
just the essentials.
Very essential. Very essential. 要吗? Not even a pronoun, right? It's really, really very sparse. Now, so let's hear that sentence again, please, Jenny.
这个要吗?
Now, you could use pronouns in there, but we won't look at that right now. It's perfectly okay to just use the verb want and put a particle at the end to show that it's a question.
Absolutely.
All right. And so let's give an equally sparse and efficient answer, and that would be
不要，谢谢.
Now, you may have picked up on 谢谢, meaning, of course,
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, this offers, I think, a good example of share. The word share is actually fourth tone,
Yeah.
right? And you repeat it to suggest thanks. But you don't emphasize the second, on the second
That's
time, you
right.
don't emphasize the fourth tone. Or else you'd have something like share. And
Yeah.
that would be...
It sounds awkward.
That would
you
sound
know?
funny. So the second tone is neutral. So let's listen to that and see how that sounds with the fourth tone and a neutral second tone.
谢谢，谢谢，谢谢。
All right, so there you go. Now, there are some rules about how tones change when they meet each other. I wouldn't worry too much at this level about that. We'll give you examples throughout the newbie lessons, and you'll gradually acquire, I think, some of those. And at a more advanced level, we can maybe look at some rules, if there are rules in that context,
there
if you
are.
could call them rules. Now, so again, you want to say no, thank you. So it's
不要，谢谢。不要，谢谢。
now this 不要, it's the same yao as in the question, and the verb is yao, meaning to want. So again, you don't even use the pronoun I. You don't need an auxiliary verb. You just say literally no want, which is
不要，
不要. Now again, that's really efficient. So no thanks.
不要，谢谢. And I also want to point out that 不 here is 不要, so
Yes.
there's also a change of tone.
Indeed.
Which changes from the fourth tone into the second.
Okay. We won't go into that in too much detail there,
but
but just to
just
let you know
remember that,
they
yeah.
can change. So let's listen to that. So, 不, if you say 不, the word 不 alone, it's the fourth tone, right? It's
Yes.
strong. Let's hear that again, Jenny.
不，不，
Now, that's quite good and that's quite clear. That's quite strong. However, when you put 不 with 要,
要
you
which
get
is also a
fourth
fourth
tone.
tone.
You get-
So, yes. 不要，不要.
Okay. Now, I don't want to overstress the tones here because they really, they can get tricky.
Yes.
But you've got the sound right there. Now, the guy's not giving up. He's going to say, look, it's really cheap.
很便宜，很便宜.
So, 便宜 means cheap, not expensive.
Well priced.
Yeah. And so we have the adverb 很, meaning
Very.
very. So let's hear that again. It's very cheap.
很便宜，很便宜.
Okay. So you want to make it clear to the guy. You want to say, look, I really don't want it.
真的不要，真的不要.
Hey guys, it's Michael here at Chinese Pod, and we want to say thank you to all of our faithful subscribers. If you're not registered yet, head over to ChinesePod.com now and get 20% off.
We got promo codes, save your money. Promo code, learn Chinese. Register now at ChinesePod.com.
Use promo code GET20 at checkout to get 20% off your first year.
So there we go. 真的, meaning, what's the literal translation for 真的?
Really.
It's real or can it be
Oh,
used-
real.
Real,
Yeah,
something
yeah.
real, yeah.
Yes.
Just a gender. This thing is real, you could say. So 真的不要, and again, no pronouns. Very
Yes.
sparse. So literally you have really, not want, right? So let's hear that again.
真的不要，真的不要.
Okay. Now, again, you could use this perhaps in a market if you're buying souvenirs or something like that. You could also use it. Maybe in a restaurant, sometimes they come around and they try to foist more stuff on you.
Yes.
And so this is very much, you are actually likely to hear this type of language. It's very fluid and so on. So let's listen to that 3 times again, please.
这个要吗？
不要，谢谢。
很便宜。
真的不要，
Second time. 这个要吗？
不要，谢谢。
很便宜。
真的不要，
Third time. 这个要吗？
不要，谢谢。
很便宜。
真的不要。
Okay. hope you got a lot from that. We will be back again tomorrow. I do recommend you go to ChinesePod.com and you can see a lot more of this type of thing. You can get the transcripts and exercises, vocabulary, word builders, the whole thing. So if you get the chance, go there and do that. But for now, Jenny, I think it is time for us to say 再见.
As usual, Chinese Pod provides an extensive selection of learning materials for this lesson on its website, www.chinesepod.com. You can access this lesson directly with the lesson number 0213. So just go to www.chinesepod.com/0213 and you will find a transcript, vocabulary, and much more. The link again, www.chinesepod.com/0213.
Chinese Pod, Chinese Pod.